I am talking civil war, freaking scorched earth on these radical extremists.
The shooter was a cis white guy.
Mental health is such a stigmatized topic in this country, and
fight back! White man, 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 fight back!
For 33 hours, I was praying that if this had to happen here, that it wouldn't be one of us. That somebody drove from another state, somebody came from another country. Sadly, that prayer was not answered the way I had hoped for.
Please, God, I ask that you make him brown. God, can you make this one brown? Please, don't even make him trans or anything. Just a regular brown guy. Make this one brown, God. You've made so many brown guys, so just make this one brown. Just a regular, not from here brown guy, God. I ask you. I ask you in your son's name, who was also a brown guy. If this had to happen here, that it wouldn't be one of us. That somebody...
You wanted him to be an immigrant. That's what you wanted. You either wanted him to be a or a Mexican immigrant. Y'all was banking on it. Y'all was like, yes, if he could have just been a Mexican, if he could have just been black, we could have get this race war on and popping. Yeah. No race war for you. It was a 22-year-old white kid whose daddy was a Republican pastor, and the whole family were Trump supporters.
Kumbaya, my lord. Come on, everybody. Kumbaya, my lord. It's togetherness. Kumbaya, my lord. Kumbaya, my lord. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. Yes. And no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, then look yourself and make a change.
I don't think I've ever seen the right wing on Twitter so quiet than this morning, because they finally caught the shooter of Charlie Kirk, and it turns out it was one of them. I'm sorry, the optics of the way y'all have been calling for war on liberals and leftists and POC when it ended up being one of you guys that shot your own. Oh, you guys look so violent right now and disgusting. It feels like a Cinnamon Toast Crunch commercial out here, because those little crackers are devouring each other. It's honestly hilarious to me, bro. Y'all spent 48 hours demonizing the left, and it was one of y'all. I mean, Fork Found in Kitchen, it's always one of y'all. Every single one has been one of y'all. Even Trump Shooter was one of y'all. Like, come on. Like, you realize, statistically speaking, Republicans are more likely to be taken out by other Republicans than a liberal or a leftist. Also, I thought you guys said you would win the Civil War. Why are you attributing one of the best assassination shots in history to a leftist? You know how that makes you guys look? Terrible.
Who's they? No one knows who the shooter is or what his motivation was. And even if it was political, he doesn't represent half the country. But some of these MAGA guys are acting like this is a liberal declaration of war.
If they could do this, they are capable of anything. I think that was the message. I believe that was the message. It's really hard to radicalize Republicans. Yeah. You know, it's like we're not the radical type.
I'm sorry, first off, it's not that hard to radicalize Republicans. You guys almost burned down the country because Cracker Barrel changed its font. Second, far be it from me to tell anyone how to do their job, but you can lose the poop emoji mug for one day. When Walter Cronkite broke the news about the Kennedy assassination, he didn't come out in a wacky novelty bow tie. I did not expect a groan from the audience on the novelty bow tie. And also, once again, who is they? Does anyone want to specify who they is, or are we just going to keep talking about all that they do?
They are at war with us. Whether we want to accept it or not, they are at war with us. Trump gets hit in the ear. Charlie gets shot dead. They came after Kavanaugh with a rifle to his neighborhood. They went after Musk's cars.
Sort of petered out there at the end, huh, Jesse? If you're trying to rile people up for war, maybe leave out the car vandalism. I mean,
That's bullshit! I've never been so pissed in my whole life! I just murdered Charlie Kirk right here in Utah! I'm so freaking pissed right now! This is bullshit! I just saw blood squirting out of his neck!
I fucking hate liberals so fucking much. I don't give a fuck what color you are. You are fucking disgusting, disturbing, negative, ignorant, nasty creatures.
Why is MAGA crashing out on liberals? Because Charlie Kirk got exactly what he advocated and voted for. Charlie Kirk was a very strong advocate for your body, my choice. Well, somebody made Charlie Kirk's body their choice with the exact weapon that Charlie Kirk was in the act of talking out the side of his neck, defending more firearms on our streets, and got taken out by a firearm on the street. Charlie Kirk was also an advocate of sorts for school massacres, and his life was ended in a school massacre. He also said this.
In fact, I even think that we should bring back, public executions on certain people. It should be public, it should be quick, it should be televised. By the way, you could fund the government
to watch it.
You could have brought to you by Coca-Cola. And no, I'm not kidding.
And boy, was it public. It's like divine intervention by God and poetic justice at the same time.
Young, beautiful family, a father, a husband.
Do I feel bad for his wife? No. She should have picked better. She married a man who cared more about stockpiling ARs than making sure his kids had a father. Now they don't. Is that fate? I don't think so. I think that's Charlie's fault. Republicans shouldn't even be parents when their top priority is worshipping firearms instead of protecting their children.
You mother fucking animals! You liberal, progressive, deranged fucking animals! You are so hateful.
And these fake outraged crash outs, I have never seen this kind of energy for the thousands of innocent kids who were slaughtered in their classrooms because of people like Charlie Kirk. But suddenly, when Charlie Kirk becomes the casualty of the very policies he literally gave his very last breath defending, here comes the unhinged, selective crash outs. We on the left have been fighting for years for common sense gun laws to stop exactly this kind of violence. He mocked it, he blocked it, he defended it, and now he got it.
Oh my God, this story right here, pure chaos. MAGA went full glitch mode after the Charlie Kirk shooting. Why? Because at first, they were 100% sure the shooter was one of the usual suspects, a leftist, an immigrant, ANTIFA, maybe BLM. They already had the whole story written in their head before the fact even came out. But then, plot twist, the shooter turned out to be a white, male, Utah-born Republican. Oh my God, this is crazy. Yeah, one of their own. And when that truth dropped, it was like watching a computer freeze and crash. Posts deleted, excuses flying, and the silence, oh, it was loud. Let's break this down together, react to the meltdown, and talk about what it says about politics today. Let's get into it.
Let's take one call, then we'll go to a break. Let's go to Alfie from Cali. What's up, Alfie?
What's up? How you doing?
Good.
You mentioned war. Sure, the left has been talking about war. You have Maxine Waters, You have Michelle Obama.
Ain't nobody got time for that shit. Don't come up on here trying to put black people in this shit. What happened to Charlie happened in white Utah with all white people. Why are you talking about black people? Don't talk about no motherfucking black woman when Charlie Kirk was gunned down in white ass Utah. Don't come up on here with that shit. Don't come up on here with that shit. Talk about a white person. If you want to talk about a white leftist, talk about a white leftist. Do not bring black women in this shit. Black women ain't never been nobody's motherfucking mass shooter. We ain't never had nothing to do with that shit. Don't have no motherfucking black woman's name out your mouth over no motherfucking Charlie Kirk. Now what? Move on. Why are we in it? What the fuck does a black woman have to do with goddamn white ass Utah? The only black woman in Utah I know is married from real fucking housewives in Salt Lake City, and she a goddamn preacher.
And let's be clear, Maxine Waters was one of the most outspoken critics of the Iraq War. to even make the comparison is just ridiculous.
Yeah,
And
don't
he
do
already
that
hung up.
shit. That's why I'm telling you about these motherfuckers. They glitching out because it wasn't a black person in sight. And now they got to bring us to it. HBCUs getting threats. For what? Why are you talking about Michelle Obama? Michelle Obama said, when they go high, we go low. Or when they go low, we go high. How the fuck is Michelle Obama in it? Why is Maxine Waters is 80-something years old? Why are they in it? Go talk about what Donald fucking Trump. We just talked about Jesse Waters. Don't come up on here on this black ass radio station talking about fucking political violence and black women, because they ain't never been no case. Never. I'm not going for it. And I'm trying to keep it cute, but do not fucking bring black women in on this shit. We ain't got nothing to do with it. Nothing.
Cleared. Y'all do me a favor and go follow Reese Colbert. I think she is one of the realest commentators out here right now. After countless rabid,
You fucking animals!
mouth foaming meltdowns from MAGA.
I fucking hate liberals so fucking much.
Falsely accusing us peaceful leftists. Once again, it was a white, far-right, Mormon, MAGA supporter responsible for yet another act of political violence, because they are also extremely violent to each other within their own political movements. Violence is their culture and has always been their culture. Yet we have a bunch of right-wing racists harassing our black babies who are minding their own black business at their historically black colleges, when black people are clearly not responsible or involved in the ending of Charlie Kirk. And historically, black people are not responsible for political violence in this country, period. Yet the most violent demographic of people in the history of this country, the demographic responsible for nearly all of the political violence in this country, predictably lashes out at black people. They have always been violent and will continue to be violent because it is in their nature. They don't need an excuse. Charlie Kirk was an architect of the violent society that we live in. His life work was creating this violent society. Charlie Kirk was a casualty of his own violent society that he helped create. Charlie Kirk is just another statistic of white on white crime.
Shit's getting weird. Pardon infinity.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
You okay, Bill?
Am I okay? Do I look okay to you? Huh? They killed Charlie Kirk in cold blood. I can't believe they did it. I can't believe it.
I know. I saw that. I didn't agree with everything he said, but I don't think he deserved that shit.
You're goddamn right. And I knew it was one of y'all niggers.
Huh? Whoa, Bill. They ain't found who did it yet. Relax.
Don't you tell me to relax. I knew it was one of y'all when I smelt the shea butter all over this crime.
Oh, you jumping to some conclusions, man. You don't know that. Nobody knows. So just calm down.
That's okay. You ain't got to believe me. We're going to get this civil war started. Hello? What's up, racist white people? Not to be confused with the regular white people, because we racist. Yeah. Send them threats to them HBCUs like I said.
Now, Bill, you kind of...
Breaking news. The shooter is white.
See? What? They found the shooter. It's one of y'all. Hey, fellas, go ahead and cancel that order. Yeah. Yeah, it was one of us. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I'll see y'all at the house. You not gonna say nothing about this white on white crime? Oh, so you just gonna tiptoe out the door without saying nothing? Why would y'all put threats into HBCUs without knowing who the shooter is? Some of y'all just fucking slow, man.
What do you think the chances are that MAGA is going to apologize now that we know that the shooter was actually a Christian white male Republican? Yeah, it's basically zero, let's be honest with each other. Elon Musk called the left the party of murder. They were talking about how they needed to reinstitute the death penalty. They were talking about how everyone who voted for Democrats needs to be labeled as a terrorist. They were saying that the Air Force needed to be sent to blue cities. That is the rhetoric that was just being labeled onto anyone who voted differently than them just 24 hours ago. Not to mention the fact that 7 different HBCUs had to put on lockdown because of threats that were coming into them. That was all before they even knew the identity of the shooter. These people are so bloodthirsty and absolutely maniacal that they were ready to start waging war on anybody who didn't vote the same way as them before even knowing the identity of the person. Do not let these people gaslight you for 1 second, thinking that you should feel bad or that your moral compass is broken because you're not upset because Charlie Kirk is gone. Listen, these are the same people who've been watching a genocide go on, have said nothing, have been watching the police kill people in our streets, said nothing, watched the troops deployed into our streets, said nothing, watched Trump talking about having brown and black people being eaten alive by alligators, and they bought merch to support it. I'm not celebrating the fact that he's no longer with us, but you are not going to get 1 single percentage of me that is going to feel bad or mourn such a terrible person leaving this earth. The truth of the matter is that the country is probably safer today because his hateful rhetoric isn't being spewed anymore.
All right, so it's Friday morning. Charlie Kirk's shooter is in custody. He is a 22-year-old cisgendered straight white guy who was raised by Republican Mormon parents. He was raised with guns in an incredibly conservative area in a state that Donald Trump has won in the last 3 elections. And so I'm just checking in because over the last 36 hours or so, I've seen a dramatic number of TikToks from the inbred, fart-huffing, mouth-breathing MAGA chuds with their neck beards, their Oakleys, and their baseball hats, all talking about how this was the final straw. The killing of Charlie Kirk was the final straw. They're all going to war. They are going to war. Fox News said we're at war. Steve Bannon said we're at war. Several other right-wing media folks have said we are at war. And so I just wanted to check in and see how the MAGA war against Republican Utah Mormons is going. I just wanted to check in and see how that war is proceeding. Have there been any battles between MAGA and the Utah Mormons yet? Do we know who the generals are who are going to be leading this war? Now that MAGA is going to war against Utah Mormons over the killing of Charlie Kirk. I just wanted to find, if anybody has any updates on how the MAGA war against Utah Republican Mormons is going, please let me know in the comments. All right, thanks. So I hope it's going well. I got to tell you, I'm quite conflicted. I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure which side I should be rooting for. But I'm just hoping that no battles take place on the campus of any historically black college or university, because this is yet another stark example of this country's long and tragic history of white on white crime, which has just become such a scourge in the United States. I mean, white on white crime has been such an endemic thing in the United States that it has its own TV series. So you may have seen it. It's called Dateline. White on white crime is so prevalent that the TV series Dateline on NBC, which covers weekly events of white on white crime, and I think Dateline has been on the air for something like 35 years. So that just gives you some idea about the prevalence of white on white crime in the United States. And so I'm happy that MAGA is finally doing something about this in going to war over white on white crime and going to war against Republican Utah Mormons. So if anybody could update me on the status of that war, I would really appreciate it. Thanks.
As soon as news of the shooting hit, MAGA accounts rushed online pointing fingers at the left. No evidence, no facts, just vibes and wishful thinking. It's like they were more excited about having an enemy to blame than actually caring about what happened. That's wild. That's really wild. So this is what happens when you care more about the story than the truth. You end up writing fan fiction about real life, then boom, the truth drops. The shooter wasn't a leftist. Yeah, the shooter wasn't a leftist, wasn't an immigrant, wasn't ANTIFA or BLM. No, he was a white male Republican from Utah. And just like that, glitch mode activated. You could almost hear the sound of keyboards stopping mid-rant. People started backspacing their tweets, deleting posts, pretending they never said what they just said 5 minutes ago. It was pure chaos. It was like watching somebody brag about winning a race, then finding out they ran in the wrong direction. So here is the thing. If the shooter had been who they hoped, this would have been a 24/7 headline on Fox News. They would be screaming about it for weeks. I mean, for weeks. But when it turns out to be one of their own, suddenly it's, hey guys, let's not politicize this. Let's wait for the facts. Oh my God. So now you want to wait for facts? Where was that energy area? That's the double standard right there. What makes this even funnier is the internet always keeps receipt. People were posting screenshots like, here is what you said before the fact came out. And here is the truth. It's embarrassing. I'm telling you, this is embarrassing. Like, if you are gonna lie, at least lie in private. But no, they do it in public and then act shocked when people pull up the receipt. This whole glitch moment is a reminder. Being first online isn't the same as being right. If anything, it just shows how desperate some folks are to fit every story into their script. Yeah. So yeah, MAGA went full glitch mode after finding out the Charlie Kirk shooter wasn't who they hoped. And honestly, this should be a lesson for everyone. Reality doesn't bend to your politics. The truth is the truth, even if it ruins your favorite story. Yeah, so instead of rushing to point fingers, maybe we should just wait for the fact. Crazy idea, right? Anyway, what do you think? Do people jump to conclusions too fast online? Or is this just politics in 2025? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear from you. And also, don't forget, smash that like button, hit subscribe for more, and share this video with a friend who loves a good plot twist. See you in the next one. Bye.